Okay, thank you so much. The time is now 11:02. So we'll be starting. My name is Simon Mujapelo. I will be the program director for today. I'm not alone. I'm with Frida and Kolile. Kolelwa, I meant to say, I'm sorry for that. I'm with Frida and Kolelwa. So we are coming from Nevada, which is the sponsor of this webinar. So we also want to thank Liasa for giving us this platform so that we can reach all the librarians in the country. So thank you so much for joining. So today we'll be having a webinar on Microsoft Excel. So as you all know that Microsoft Excel is one program which if you are not using it more frequently, then you end up forgetting how to use those formulas. So we saw it fit for us to have this webinar. To others will be an introduction to Microsoft Excel, wherever to others will be a refresher course because we have done this workshop, I think, last year. Yes. So we have done this workshop last year. So today we are still continuing. And we are going to do it in these phases. So today we'll be doing the basic introduction to Microsoft Excel, and then we're going to have the intermediate Excel, and then the last session, which is session 3. I think we're going to have it somewhere in July. So will be the advanced stage of Excel. So today we'll be introducing you to Excel so that for those of you who are not using Excel or have forgotten how it works, you can have a better idea for the intermediate webinar that we'll be having. So we are also going to take questions after the presentation. And after that, the recording will also be available on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube. We have Liasa News, and then you can subscribe to that channel, and then you are able to watch this again. So thank you so much. So we are having Dr. Mlaudzi again. Remember, in our previous workshop we had Dr. Mlaudzi. So even today we're having Dr. Mlaudzi because Dr. Mlaudzi worked as a facilitator for 2 years for the University of KwaZulu-Natal, facilitating the information literacy programs. He also worked for the University of Limpopo, whereby he was also a facilitator facilitating the ICT program. So he also worked part-time for a particular company called Regen, whereby he was also facilitating computer literacy. So we called him because I know he has a very great knowledge of the ICT programs. So we will be having him again as our facilitator. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Mlaudzi. Dr. Mlaudzi, over to you, sir.
Good morning, fellow librarians. It's a pleasure to meet you today again. Today, I was told that we'll be dealing with Excel. Just to confirm if you can hear my voice. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, we're dealing with our Excel. Normally, when I train Excel, I have got a PowerPoint that I project. But this PowerPoint, I don't project it for more than 2 minutes. I just project it for a minute for people to have an idea of what we'll be talking about. So in our case, this PowerPoint that I have, I will not project it. I will share it with Mr. Mujapelo. He will share it with you. What I will do, I will open Microsoft Excel, then we'll start our session. But before I open Microsoft Excel, remember, I was told that this session is a basic. We're going to deal with basics. So I want us to assume that we do not know Excel. Even if you know Excel, for you to learn or for the session to run effectively, so let's assume that we do not excel, because we will be starting with the basics. And majority of you, I want to believe that you know the basics, but there are some of you who do not know the basics. It's unfortunate we did not run the survey to check those who know nothing and those who know something. But for now, let's assume that all of us, we know nothing. So I'm going to share my entire screen. I have shared my entire screen. It's unfortunate my laptop is not running effectively, so it's freezing, but I'll be working on it in the meantime. The reason why I'm sharing my entire screen is because I want to take you through how to launch Microsoft Excel. There are more than 5 ways you can follow to launch a Microsoft Excel. The first one, you come under the search icon. Under the search icon, you can simply type Excel. When you type Excel, the laptop or your computer, any computer device that you're using, will retrieve the Excel application for you. And this is the Excel application. What you can simply do, you can just double click on it. When you double click on it, it's going to open. So let's wait for it to open. Here is our Excel application opened. And when you open the Excel application, it takes you to a landing page. Some they call it home page. Some they call it a backstage page. So this section, we call it a landing page because when you open, you land here. So that was the first way to open a Microsoft Excel. The other way that you can follow to open the Microsoft Excel, you go under what we call a Windows Start icon. By the way, on a desktop, we have got a window start icon. On a keyboard, we have got a window, a window key. Remember, on a keyboard, we don't have a button. In a computer language, on a keyboard, what we have, we call it keys. So on our keyboard, we have got a window key. On our desktop, we have got a window icon. This window icon, we find it at the bottom left corner of your desktop. This is the window start icon. When you click on the window start icon, you will be presented with these different applications. And by the way, the operation system you are using also contribute to the display of the icons that you are opening. In my case, I'm using the Windows 2010. I don't know the one that you're using on a computer, but if you've got knowledge, it doesn't matter the operation system you're using. Some, let's say 2008, when you open it, will say all programs. Through the all programs, you're able to do what? To navigate the application you're looking for. In our case, when you click here, it just gives you the suggested applications that I normally use. These are the applications that I normally use. Then when you try to navigate, you can see the Microsoft Excel. When you double click on it, the Microsoft Excel will open. And remember, I said that when the Microsoft Excel open, it takes you to the landing page. It takes you to the landing page. This is our Microsoft Excel. Remember, I told you the first way to open. This is the second way. Then now let's go for the third way to open our Microsoft Excel. The third way, you can simply right-click on the desktop. When you right-click on the desktop, you'll be exposed to this window. Then through this window, you go new. Then through new, you can see the shortcuts. In our case, what shortcut do we need? We need Microsoft Excel worksheet. Then when you click, the shortcut is created. You will see it created. Here's the shortcut created. Once the shortcut is created, what do? I double click on the shortcut. I double click on the shortcut or right click. And say open. It will open. This is our shortcut. It has been opened. Then let's say you want the other way. The other way, once you opened your Excel, you can go on a taskbar. We call this bottom line, this dark bottom line, a taskbar. When you can come under the taskbar, right click. My laptop is not responding fast. It's going to inconvenience me. I don't know if I can just disconnect, work on my laptop for a minute and come back later. Program director, otherwise we're not going to.
Sorry,
Do you
doctor.
allow me to?
I think there's too many windows open, hence your laptop is slow.
I want to work on it just for a minute. Can I have a minute to work on it? I will.
Okay, it's fine, Dr. Mlauzi.
Good morning, colleagues. I know I'm going to be coming in just a bit on while we're still waiting for the doctor. I just want to say my name is Kolelo Kwagile, and I am the Imaging Librarian for 2024. Just a few announcements. Mr. Mujapelu did mention that we're going to be having the second and the third part of this Excel training. And I just want to give the date. So the second one is going to be happening on the 11th of July, and it will be at 11 o'clock. And then the third one will happen on the 15th of August. And we just want to say thank you very much to all of you who have been attending our webinars since we started at the beginning of the year with the Nevada Emerging Librarian series that started in February. We have had so many impactful trainings. We have had webinars that are so informative. And if you have missed any of those sessions, you can get them on YouTube, as Mr. Mujapelu said, and you can search Liasa News, and all our Nevada Emerging Librarian sessions are there. And we also just want to say thank you very much to the sponsor of these webinars, which is Nevada LMS. We really appreciate your support. We wouldn't be here today giving these impactful trainings to all our librarians in our field. So thank you very much again. I know I'm going to be saying the closing at the end to say thank you to everyone, but we really appreciate that you're taking your time, and throughout these webinars, you've been taking your time to attend these sessions, and we really appreciate. And I hope that the doctor is winning that side. Um, Otherwise, we can just wait a few minutes for him to come through. And just to also maybe give another announcement, our last webinar is going to be on the 12th of September. So that one will be focusing on emerging technologies for outreach programs. And we know in our libraries, we have outreach programs. How can we use the technology in making sure that we make those programs successful? And that one will be the last one before we go to the conference for the LIASA conference. Okay, another announcement while we're still waiting. Please don't forget to put your questions if you might have or anything that you would like the doctor to touch on the chats, or otherwise if there's anything that maybe in the next session you would like him to address. Because I know sometimes we deal with a lot of statistics that needs the Excel. How do we navigate? And I know sometimes it can be very confusing. So maybe you can just put them on the chat and then we'll give them to the doctor when he proceeds with, or when we are in the question and answer session.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe now it will work better than before. Let us assume that you opened Microsoft Excel, and this was the first time you open Microsoft Excel, and you want to make your life easier when you open Microsoft Excel. You don't want to struggle. To avoid the struggle, once you opened Microsoft Excel, you need to come under the taskbar, right click, and pin the Excel on the taskbar. Why do you pin the Excel on a taskbar? You pin it for easy access. You do not take time looking for Excel. You don't take time going to search for this icon. You don't go to Windows Start icon, follow all those processes to look for this Excel. You don't go to create shortcut to look for this Excel. Meaning that if the Excel is closed and you want the Excel, you want to open the Excel, you simply come under the Excel icon on your taskbar, double click. By so doing, you will be launching your Microsoft Excel without going all those steps that are likely to waste your time. This is the fourth way to open Microsoft Excel. Now let's go to the fifth way to open Microsoft Excel. The fifth way, normally we open it if we are working on, we go for the fifth way if we are working on an Excel and we want to open another document. Instead of coming to the search or Windows Start icon or double clicking on the icon on the taskbar, you can simply do what? Come under the new. When you go the new, it's going to do what? It's going to open another Microsoft Excel. Let's say you go file, from file you say new, then it's going to open another file. Or you can simply do what? You can go file, you go open, then open, you do what? You're going to open an existing Microsoft Excel document. In this case, let's say you have worked on a previous Microsoft Excel document, you saved it, you want to open it. Instead of going to the file, manage, look for the file, you can simply access the file through the open. Then in that way, you'll be able to do it, to access the Microsoft Excel document. So all those 5 ways that I've demonstrated are the ways that you can follow to open Microsoft Excel. As a librarian, you need to reflect on this way, check the one that will work better for you, then go for it. The reason why I had to demonstrate these ways to open Microsoft Excel is to show you that there are many ways you can follow in order to open Microsoft Excel. And out of these ways, you can have the one that works better for you. By the way, we are different and we do things differently. So you just choose the one that will work better for you. Then remember that when you open Microsoft Excel, it takes you to the landing page. On a landing page, we find different templates. Remember, a template is just an existing document for a particular task that you can create. Let's say you want to create tutorials. Let's say you want to create a budget. Let's say you want to create a list of library users. That is a template. But normally, when you open Microsoft Excel, you will find built-in templates. These are the built-in templates that you can go for. But in our case, because we are going to be trained how to use Excel for the library activities, we need to go for a blank workbook. A blank workbook is just a blank template, meaning that we're going to create our own template for the particular document that we want to create. So you simply double click on this blank workbook. When you double click there, you will be exposed to this workstation or worksheet. It doesn't matter the name. Some they call it work area, some they call it worksheet. So there are many ways to refer to this interface. So when you are here, you can see different commands, different icons. So what you need to know is that this area, we call it a ribbon. Within a ribbon, we find different tabs. We have got file as a tab, we have got home as a tab, we have got insert, draw, etc. Then within each tab, there are groups. Let's start with home tab. Under home tab, if we can have a look, we have got a clipboard group, we have got a font group, we have got alignment group, we have got number group, etc. The same applies under insert tab. We still have groups. We have got tables, etc. So let's go back to home tab. Then under home tab, we have got different icons or different commands. Commands normally are features that you click on them to perform a specific task. So we're going to learn how to perform those different tasks. So under font, we also have those different commands or different icons. So from the ribbon, we have got what we call quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar is a portion where you quickly have access to certain commands. Let's say you want to save a document. If you can have a look there, we have got save. So instead of going to file to access save, you can simply do what? You can access save from a quick access toolbar. Then this quick access toolbar also allow you to add other commands, allow you to add other icons that you know that normally when you work on your Excel, you need to quickly access these commands or you need to quickly access these icons for your task. So we also have the title bar. The title bar is a portion that tells you the name of a document. Is the one that confirms if your document is saved or is not yet saved. So if you can have a look, mine says book 1. Book 1 simply tells me that you just opened Microsoft Excel. However, you did not save it. So it's either I saved or I did not change the name. Sometimes it allows you to differentiate the document you're currently working on from other documents. Suppose I opened multiple documents and I'm busy working on these documents. So every time when I work on a document, I must also do what? Confirm the name of a document under the title bar. We also have the search bar. The search bar, let's say, for instance, I'm looking for a certain icon or a certain command. I forgot how to access this command. What I can simply do, I can simply come here and say what? Export. I know that I want to export something, but I don't know where to get this command under which tab. I simply come here and do what? And type. By simply typing, this thing will quickly do what? Give me access to that particular icon I want to use at that time. So now, let's start with file. Let's start with file. Under file is where you land. Is where you find a home page. Is where you find backstage view. So under file, there are still icons that you can have access to. Let me start with inf. Inf normally gives you the property of the document or gives you the details about that document. You can see it tells the creation of a document. It also tells if the document was modified. It also tells who is the reviewer of that particular document. So every time when you open a document, go under info to check who is the author of that document, to check when was the document created. This normally, what can I say? So many managers check your innovativity. Some people tend to go to steal documents to present to their employer so that they can appear to be creative. Some of the employers will come under INF to check if you are the original author of that document, to check when was the document created. So every time when you create a document, check this information. If you want to present a document to your employer and appear like you know it, come check if there is no author. If there is author, there is date creation. We have got what we call check for issues. The check for issues allow you to inspect the document. You can inspect the document. You simply inspect the document. When you inspect the document, if there was an author, if there was a date creation, those things are going to be erased, and you do what? You remove. Once you remove, everything has been removed. Now, if you can check, the created time has changed to past. Now it's 11:30. It's no longer the time I open this thing. Even the author has changed. I have to add the author. So the check, the if allows you to do what? To inspect the document, make sure you get rid of the author, you deal with the dates, if it's the document that is still somewhere, or if it's the document that you want it to appear recent. Then it also allows you to see the previous version of the document. Let's say this document I'm just editing. Mr. Simon is the one who created document, and I came to do some additions. Then along the way, I realized that I missed something that I was not supposed to have edited. You can come under the vision history to do what? To make sure that you go to access those particular details that you happened to delete without being aware. Then the other thing under the INF, we have got the protect worksheet. If, for instance, you have created a database for user profile, and this database, you want it to remain confidential, at the help desk, the computer, everyone can use it. Then you saved this database to keep the details of your patrons. So if you want to keep the details confidential, what you can simply do, you can encrypt the document so that everyone who opens the document needs password. You simply key in the password like that, you confirm the password, then now the document is protected. Anyone who is going to open this document, the document will require the password that you have applied. Meaning that if The document is within the computer at the help or circulation desk. Anyone who comes will not be able to access this particular database that contains user profile. It's only you who created the document who is going to have access to the document. No one else can have access to the document. So the other thing we have got save. Save, let's say you have opened document for the first time. If you opened document for the first time, you come under save, then you do what? You browse where you can save the document. You browse. Then you can save document under the data, under the documents. You call it user profile. Then you save. Now your document has been saved. And if you can check under the title, now there is a name for the document. There's a title for the document. So let's go back to our file tab. So let's say you have saved this document and you are working on a document, and you know that the library where you work on, the power is not reliable. At any time, the power can go off. To avoid losing the document, you can say after 10 minutes of typing, I will come and do what? And save. Now, because you've saved this document already, when you click on the save, it will do what? It will just save. It will not take you there. The reason why mine is taking there is because I'm using the OneDrive and I have decided to stop it because I don't have enough data where I am. Then we also have save as. The save as, we use it if we are duplicating a document. Let's say I opened this user profile document, then I made some additions, but I still want to retain the previous document. What I need to do, I need to come under the save as and do what? And save the document with a different name so that now I can have two documents. The one with old information and the one with new information. Now I will have two documents through the save as. I say two, then I do what? I save. So through save as, you are able to duplicate documents and have two documents instead of one. You have two documents from the old document. Then we also have the save as a PDF. If you want this spreadsheet to be saved as a PDF, you can go save as Adobe. The Adobe Acrobat is a PDF. Then we also have print. We have got share, publish, close. Close is when you want to close this thing and you don't want to use it. Then let's go more. Under more, we have got options. I prefer options. So through options, you are able to customize your spreadsheet. You are able to customize your spreadsheet. We have got the general. Let's say you are using a computer that is used by everyone and you want to create a document. And when you have this document, you want to make sure that you are the author of the document. Under the general options, you are able to do what? To change the author. How do you change the author? You personalize your copy of Microsoft Office. So here you can just say Malaud. Malaud will now be the author of this document. If it's a computer that is used by everyone, or if the author of the document is your friend, you borrowed a computer from your friend, and now you want to create a document. When you submit it, you want to be the author. Just go under the options. Under the options, you're able to do what? To change the author. By so doing, you'll be the author of that document. From there, we also have, after changing, you have to do what? You have to say, okay, so that changes can be saved. Then from the author, we have got a quick access toolbar. we have got quick access toolbar. Remember when I was busy showing you the interface of Microsoft Excel, I spoke about quick access toolbar where you can quickly access some of the icons or command that you use more often. Then under the quick access toolbar, you are able to do what? To specify things that you want to quickly access. For now, we have got autosave, we have got save, undo, and redo. We can add more. We can decide to add, what can we add? We can decide to add font color. You simply click on the icon that you want. Then you do what? You add. Then we can also add the format painter. Then you do what? You add. By so doing, you have added the commands within your quick access toolbar. I hope now you may wonder, why am I skipping some of things? I'm skipping some of things because this is the basics. We are starting with the basics. So once we go to the intermediate and advanced, we'll come back and deal with those things that I need. I know that these ones are advanced. Okay. Then you say okay. When you say okay, you have saved the savings under the quick access toolbar. Then now we have explored, we have gone through the options, or we have gone through the icons under the file tab. So those icons that we have gone through falls under the basic skills. So we go back to our interface. As you can have a look under our quick access toolbar, we have added format painter, we have added the font color. So now I want to try to be slow, even though I can see that time is moving, but I will try to be slow so that I can accommodate everyone. Now we are going to explore the basic skills when working with Microsoft Excel. So most of the time when I take people through the training, I prefer to have a certain task that we are going to do in order to get those skills that we need under the basic skills. The training, the task that I'm going to have, we're going to create a library database for user profile. We're going to create library database for a user profile. So remember that this is our workstation. This is our work area. This is our worksheet. Names are main. You just decide which name you want to use. So on our working area, we have got columns. These columns, as you can have a look, they're represented by alphabets, A, B, C, D. We also have the row. These rows are represented by 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. So now we have got where the row and a column meet. The intersection of where the column and a row meet, we call it a cell. And this cell, we have got a name box where the cell will be named. If you have a look now, I have activated our cell. Our cell is named as A1. And you need to take care of this. You can either activate a cell or you can select a cell. And there's a difference between activating a cell and selecting a cell. If you want to key in some text characters within a cell, you simply select. And how do you select the cell? By just a single click, you have activated a cell. But once you do double click, double click, you activate a cell. Single click, you select a cell. So now I want you to notice the difference. When I do the double click, I have activated the cell. And once I activate the cell, you can see majority of the commands within the groups fade away. But when I select a cell, these commands remain active. So now you need to know that we select a cell to format the cell, and we activate the cell for data entry and data addition. So once the cell is activated, I'm able to do what? I'm able to enter data, and I'm able to do what? To edit data within that particular cell. Let's say we have got this user, and I happen to make mistake when I was typing user. Instead of having user, the spelling is not correct. Then now, while I was busy doing some other things, I then noticed that the spelling within that cell is not correct. So how do I edit that user? Remember, we have got selection, we have got activation. So with single click, I have selected the cell. And if you've selected the cell, you will not be able to do what? To edit. You will only be able to do what? To format the cell. You can change the colors, all those things. But for me to be able to edit that spelling error, I have to do the double click in order to activate this cell. Then I'm able to do what? I'm able to edit the mistake I have committed through a active cell. And remember, with an active cell, you're not able to do what? You're not able to do some of the formattings. You are restricted. There are few formattings that you can do. You can either do what? You can either bold. But when you bold, you must be able to do it. You should have selected that whatever that is within the cell. And something that you must be aware of so that you don't end up being confused. If I have selected the cell and I come under the formula bar, this portion, we call it a formula bar. I come under the formula bar, I will be able to do what? To edit whatever that is within the cell. And once I start editing, it means I am activating the cell. Now the cell is no longer selected, but activated. So that is something that you must take care of. Then this formula bar, normally it represents what is within the cell. If, let's say, for instance, I have got 1 plus 1 within this cell and is 3. But when I select the cell, the formula bar will tell me that this 3 you see there is representing equal sign 1 plus 2. Meaning that the formula bar, it is there to represent what is within the cell. What is within the cell. So now, I want us to start with our database for a user profile. We'll start at A1. We'll start at A1. You know, with a user profile, we'll have the number of users. So meaning that the first thing in our heading will be a number. This is our number. So we know that our library has 100 users. Our library has 100 users. So this means you need to have 1, 2, 3. So normally when you work, you need to work smart. You need to save time. Instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 100, you can apply what we call autofill. The autofill will save your time. the autofill will save your time. And the question is, how do we do the autofill? We have done 1, 2, 3. So what you need to do, you need to select this range of cells. Remember that we have got cell. One cell, we call it a cell. Multiple cells, we call them a range of cells. So now you select this range of cells. Once you've selected the range of cells, remember this thing that I'm moving, we call it a pointer or a cursor. So when you come under the square, you see the square for your selection. The corners are not the same. This corner and this corner and this corner are the same. But this corner looks different. Meaning that if you place your cursor here and here and here, the shape of the cursor will be the same. But when you come here, the shape of the cursor will be different. You notice the difference. Now the shape of this cursor is dark. Is dark. So when you left click and hold, drag down, or when you just double okay, let me do this. See. Okay, when you come here, left click and hold, you drag down, you are able to have numbering that run fast. You see now, I have got up to 164 through autofill. I did not waste much of my time whereby I was supposed to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Just remember, if I were to enter up to 164 manually, it was going to be time consuming and I was going to commit some errors along the way. By the way, mind get tired, and once you are tired, you happen to commit some of the errors. So the autofill, it is there to save your time, to help you avoid errors, meaning that it is there to ensure what we call data accuracy. So now we have got our number up to 164. That is the total number of our library users. And the reason why I'm creating this activity, I want to take you through the Microsoft commands, Microsoft icons. So through the activity, we'll be exploring these commands, we'll be exploring these activities. So I just demonstrated how the autofill works. Then now you can see that the alignment of this numbering is not attractive and you want it to be center aligned. We have got the alignment. Under the alignment, we have got different types of alignment. We have got the left align, we have got the middle align, we call it center align. We also have the right align. So in our case, we're going to align these two to the center. So now we have the users, or we can have the, let's say the users, or let's say the surname. Yeah, the surname. Then from surnames, we have to move to the second column. When you are here, you don't want to, you want to type fast. After typing the surname, what you can simply do, you can simply tap key on your keyboard. When you key the tab key on your keyboard, it takes you to the next column. We have got the arrow pointing down. When you key it, it takes you to the bottom. If you are typing, let's say you have typed surname, you want to go downwards. If you want to go downwards, you simply do what? You simply key the enter key. When you key the enter key, it takes you downwards. But when you key the tab key, it takes you sideways to the right side of your document. So we have typed surname. Now we have got names. So from names, we can quickly have ID number. From ID number, we can have, let's say, cell phone number, cell number. from cell number, we can have, we only need that important information. We have residential details. I think this will be enough for today's session. Then now, you have typed surname, you have typed names, you have typed ID, you have typed cell number, residential, and other details. But when you have a look there, the ID number is not full. The R for number is missing. Even the cell number, the ER is missing. And if you check the residential details, it overlaps to the column G, and you are supposed to fit in within the FG. So if the details do not fit, we have got what we call a auto fit. The auto fit allow you to fit in the details within a cell. Let's start with the identity number. We have got this line that separates two columns. We have got column D and column E. When you place this pointer between, on the line between D and E, you can notice that the shape will change. Once the shape changes, you double click, then it's going to do what? It's going to auto fit. You just come here, you double click. What's happening? You auto fit the details within the column. You auto fit the details within the column. And if you're not good with auto fit, we have got manual way of fitting whatever that is within the column. The manual way, you just place the pointer between, on the line between the two columns. Then you left click and hold. You are able to do what? You are able to fit your column for the details within it. Then now we are done with auto fit and we are done with the manual fitting. Along the way, when you are busy creating your database, you realize that no, I was supposed to have the heading for my table above. Then now it means you have to insert a row above the first row. How do you insert the row? You click on the one, you right click, we have got the insert. You click insert. By so doing, you will have a row inserted above. Then now you want to have a heading for your table. The heading in this case will be 2025 user profile. It's 2025 user profile. User profile. Then the way the user profile is appearing, you're not happy. Then you then decide to do what? Let me auto fit. When you auto fit, you realize that no, it has opened this column and your numbering have got more than enough space that you do not need. You decide to say, no, let me bring it back the way it was. But still, you are not happy. If you are not happy, we have got what we call match. You can match cells. So since our table starts from A to F, you can simply match these columns under row 1. The question is, how do you match them? You simply select from A1 until F1. After you've made selection, you go under the alignment. We have got the match. You click the arrow pointing down. We have got different types of match. You can either match and center. You can match across. You can just match cells. In our case, we want to match and center the user profile. We have matched and centered our user profile. And once you've done so, you realize that no, man, I need a subtitle for my user profile. And you press enter. You know, on your Microsoft Word, when you type, you press enter, you're able to continue with a new line below the above line. So when you do so, it takes you to the second row. You realize that no, man, I'm not going to be able to have the subheading of my profile. So the question is, how do you do that? Go back, activate that cell where you want to have the subheading. Once you've activated the cell, there are many ways to have a subheading. The first way, you can decide to key in the Alt. If you can check on your keyboard, we have got Alt key. The Alt key is Alt key. You press the Alt key and hold, then you press enter. By so doing, you are able to open a new line within the same cell. Then now you can have the subheading. Our subheading will be the Mulaudzi Library. Then we now have our subheading as the Mulaudzi Library. Then you decide to go check. Now you can see that you have got the 2025 user profile, but the Mulaudzi Library is not appearing. But when you select the cell, you can see the Mulaudzi Library appearing under the formula bar. This means you have to do what? You have to auto-fit your colon. When you auto-fit the colon, it's not showing the Mulaudzi Library. It means you do what? You have to go for the manual way. You left click and hold, drag down. When you left click and hold, drag down, you can see the 2025 user profile Mulaudzi Library. But now you are not happy with the alignment. If you're not happy with the alignment, you can simply do what? You can simply select that cell, which is cell A1. Then you go under the alignment. Under the alignment, we have got center align. We have got the top align. In our case, we can say, let's go for the center align so that our things are in the middle. Then our users are able, or you as the librarian, you're able to have a very good looking table that is going to catch the eye of any reader there. So once you've done so, you realize that no, we have got the grid lines, but these grid lines are not the way you want them to be. If they're not the way you want to be, you can do what? You can apply borders. The question is, how do we apply borders? You can simply do it. You can simply select the entire table. Yes.
I just want to remind you that you've got 2 minutes
Oh, 2 minutes
to
left.
wrap up. Yes, yes.
Okay. 2 minutes. Oh, okay. Okay, it's fine. Okay, once you select, you are able to do what? You are able to apply the borders. Now we have got the borders. You can be able to do what? You can be able to type the details of your library users. In that way, we have created a user profile. I want to believe that in our continuous session, we'll deal with other things that you need to know for the user profile creation. So can I have questions from the floor?
See that there was one question, but it seems like it has already been answered. So there was a user who was asking, with the autofill, can we do it with numbers only, or we can also do it using months or days of the week also?
We can use it with days, we can use it with months. It's not only numbers, even weights that you know that I mean, like days of the week, months of the year.
Okay. Okay,
Any other
Khalees, I don't know if
question?
yes.
Any other
Okay,
question?
Doc, I'm not seeing any hands on my side. Otherwise, if you do have a question, you can just unmute and ask your question right away to the doctor.
Good day, everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Molawuti, for such an informative session. I just like to ask a question for the second one. I will still going to need to register, or we're going to get the link automatically.
Okay, you would still have
Oh,
to register for that.
Okay, thank you.
thank
Yes,
you. Thank
yes. There will be an invite again, and the same way of registering, that's how you follow. Okay, Doc, to close it, I just want to ask, you have taught us so much, and I think just by looking at the presentation, I realized that there's so much that I did not know about Excel, even though I thought that I could use it. But what are some of the mistakes that maybe people are doing when they are using Excel that you would maybe want to advise the librarians to avoid?
The mistakes that people are doing when they are, we have got formulas, but we are not yet there. We are still under the basics. Under basics, there are no much mistakes, but the ones that I know that they are, let's say you are doing auto fit. Some people, when they do auto fit, they fail to control the pointer. And if you're failing to control the pointer, you're not going to get the auto fit correct. The same applies to auto fill. If you're not able to control the pointer, you're not going to get things right. So
Hmm.
what you need to do under the basics, you need the skill to control the pointer, and you need the skill to identify the shapes of your pointer, because if you can have a look on this pointer, the shapes are not the same. Once you select this cell and you come here, the shape change. If you come here, the shape change. So you need a skill to be able to differentiate these shapes, because each shape perform a certain action. So for you to be able to do some other things, know the shape. For today's
Hmm.
session, I would say take care of a shape, take care of the point.
Hmm. Okay, I think this would be the last question, so we can wrap up. The other question is saying, for the data for the tables, could it be possible to export it from another document?
Yes, it is possible. It's unfortunate time was not enough, but as I know that we are going to continue, I will take you through that skill.
Yes, I'm so glad we actually have two more sessions to go so we can learn all of these. So thank you very much, colleagues, for the questions. Dr. Mulauzi, I love hearing from you. I love listening to you teach. Actually, when I was was listening to the presentation, I was just reminded of how passionate you are with transferring these skills and knowledge to the audience. And I just want to say thank you very much again for honoring the invite. We cannot wait to have you again. And to close this off, I just want to also thank Mr. Mujapilu, who organized our speaker yet again and making sure that we have this session today. We also just want to say thank you very much to Liasa for giving us the platform. We really appreciated Mr. Apelele, who was always there assisting us with the registration and everything else. And to you, colleagues who are taking out your time, it could be at the office or wherever you are listening or wherever you're attending the webinar, we just want to say thank you very much. We run these webinars so that we can all be knowledgeable and we can all learn from one another. And thank you very much for participating, also asking questions. It really means a lot to us as the emerging librarian. And to close it off, because we have run out of time, I just want to say, please have a beautiful weekend And thank you again. We will see each other on the next session, which will be on the 11th of July. And I hope that you enjoy the day. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you so much, Kolera. Thank you so much, colleagues, for joining. Bye bye.